I really should not do this in one go, but patch 10.6.24, the inflation patch. First, let's go over what you all care about. The loot. Gold enemies went from dropping 20% better loot to 10%. To all of you wheeling degens on Summit, you'll have to find a better way to turn the AFK farms into slightly more efficient, not AFK farms. Good luck. Abilities will deal 25% less increased damage on pure strategy. Let's be real, abilities just means tower boost because what the hell else are you doing on pure strategy? This basically means that instead of tower boost being 50% less powerful on pure strategy, it is now 62.5% less powerful. As an example, before this update, if you had enough ability 1 points to roughly quadruple your damage, you'd only deal about double damage on pure strategy. Now, you deal slightly less than double. Wait a minute, this is being reverted. Okay. Next up is a massive buff. I'm not kidding, on paper this is way too strong. To simplify it, when an enemy drops an item, it now has a 35% chance to drop another item, and this applies on every map that isn't the current map of the week. Speaking of map of the week, previously if you were on the map of the week, when an enemy dropped an item, it had a 100% chance to drop another item, essentially double drops from every enemy. Now it only has a 70% chance to drop an extra item, so basically instead of 2x drops, it's 1.7x drops, more or less. Everything else with map of the week is still the same, so no extra coal, but you do get extra accessories, pet, and weapon rewards from campaign or survival/pure strategy. Well, mostly the same. This is a weird one, but if map of the week turns out to be Workshop Assault specifically, you will only get double weapon rewards. The amount of armor will not be doubled. And as a last bit, True Boss Rush along with Workshop Assault were nerfed. Not like made easier or anything, just worse armor quality. Really could have used better wording on that patch note. Here's some of the numbers behind it, but basically, Workshop Assault and True Boss Rush are still by far and away the best ways to get Ultimate++ armors, but now their expected time per Ultimate++ drop is more in line with what the devs wanted. Here's the spiel the balancing team gave on it, but to TLDR even that, Ultimate++ armor is undeniably the endgame of armor, and people were just getting them way too quickly and easily with pure strategy along with these challenges. It seems like True Boss Rush specifically was way faster to complete than what they had in mind, and people were setting it as the bar for how quickly you should get Ultimate++ armor, which wasn't what the devs wanted. What do the devs have in mind? Who knows, but this is getting closer to it, probably. Follow up, they're actually going to buff the rates because I guess this nerf was a little too much. Also, they nerfed Lab Assault. What the fuck, man? Lab Assault didn't do a thing to deserve this. And Crystal Cave gets no nerfs? What a sick joke. Anyways. Outside of loot and pure strategy, there's also been some other balance changes. Jester is so fucking back. Let's go. Buy Jester stock right now. We're going to the moon, baby. Woo! Is my door open? I think my roommates might have heard that one. Okay, basically, tower stacking is kind of in vanilla Dungeon Defenders. Sort of. Using Jester's Move Tower ability, if you hold left control, you can select multiple towers and place them all on the same spot. I'm sure there's more planned for this, but at the moment it is a very considerable method for people to tower stack without making a script to do so. It also means that you can tower stack without having to be the host, which is really nice. Is it the end all be all? No, I don't think so. But it lets the balancing team skirt around the topic of tower stacking for a little while longer, as annoying as that is. Thank you, B. I love you, B. This is an amazing change. I just want more. Also, the Enrage Aura actually functions now, and it's been completely reworked. Previously, the Enrage Aura did nothing. It literally just didn't work. Now it actually does things. A lot of things. Basically, when an enemy enters the aura, there's a chance they go berserk. And when berserk, they will hit other enemies. That's not really any different from the Enrage Aura before, except, you know, it actually works. But there's two big things now. One, the plague, or that's what I'm calling it. It's actually called contagion, but that's too bad, Pancake. I prefer this name. Basically, if an enemy goes berserk and it hits another enemy, there is a chance to make the other guy also go berserk. And now this new berserk enemy can do the same thing to others, passing on the effect. If that was everything, it'd be a great way to stall enemies, but not much else. But there's more. Number 2, percent HP damage. How hard they hit depends on the health of who they're hitting. So from an enemy's perspective, if you've got a lot of health, you're taking a lot of damage. I'll show you some numbers, but this is a new mechanic, and it's basically guaranteed that these numbers will change, and maybe some of the mechanics will as well. Personally, I'm not really a fan of the percent chance to enrage thing. I'd prefer it to be like 100% chance to enrage, but only a certain amount of enemies can be enraged at once, or something like that, but we'll see. Oh, also, did I mention that it works on ogres? Because, yeah, it does. Right now, as long as the enemy isn't a boss, the Enrage Aura can work on it, though I'm not really sure about Harbingers or Forest Ogres or stuff like that. If I find out later, I'll dump some text on the screen right now. Now onto simpler balancing changes. The Optic Staff was nerfed, but like not by much. It's still probably the best overall staff in the game, especially because getting it doesn't require doing the most crash-heavy maps in the game. Fuck the Crystalline Dimension. But to make up for the Optic Staff nerf, the Elder Staff and Honey Staff are both buffed by 10%, so that's nice. Let's see, what else? Solo players deal 10% more damage on Workshop Assault now. That's nice. Though keep in mind, solo means one character and not one account, so don't add splits if you want to get that damage increase. Also, it's kind of bugged right now, but that'll be fixed. On the same map, buffed player damage 4p by 5% boss gauntlet on Workshop Assault. Sure, I guess? I don't really know what this means, but I guess quad stacks running the map will have 5% more damage for some part of it. Also exclusive to 4-player lobbies, the mech at the end has its damage reduction lowered by 5%, so another dub to people that have friends. Not me though. Even more boss stuff, the Phoenix will no longer huck a loogie at you unless it's below 70% HP, which is pretty good, although it can still dive bomb you, so there's that. Zippy had its Kobold slow down a bit on Ruthless, which, I mean, fair. Having these guys move any faster would be kind of insane. And the mini-Jins on Return to Morago were also given the same treatment. There's also this change, which is a bit of a long one, but it basically just means that enemies who spend too long camping in their spawns will eventually lose their invincibility after about 30 seconds. When did this ever happen? I don't know, but apparently it did, and now it won't. And I think that's mostly it for the balancing changes. What? Wait a minute. An event item getting nerfed in my event-focused video game? Who is responsible for this? This is ludicrous! You should never be able to outfarm events! My owl stocks will fucking never recover! God, I should cut that out. On a serious note, these are crazy good events, but I gotta give props to the dev team because it's really risky to nerf event items that people already have. That said, event items should be out-farmable. As B himself said, get an event owl and there's no reason to ever farm a normal owl. This was a good change. Credit to the balancing team for making it. New content! Red Dungeon has a new end-of-map reward in the form of the Nessie, but gay. Its stats cap at 600, and you can also upgrade it to 600, so it's basically just a fish, but again, gay, and also a little bit better. It also heals, which is pretty cool. Small problem though, it is kind of useless right now, because subject to change, it only drops on Ruthless, which is kind of dumb since, again, it's functionally just a fish, which you can get from Moonbase at 500 stats. Back on Moonbase, exclusive to Ruthless, a flying saucer pet on wave 30, and a quote-unquote colorable moon on wave 35. First, the Moon Pet. There's an event version of it, and this update adds the ability to outfarm that event. The stats can go up to 800 or be upgraded to 725 if they don't roll higher. The naming matters as well. Full moons will always have the exact same bonuses, being 20% speed and 10% lower gravity, although their stats will change. Every other moon, regardless of the name or the color or whatever, will either have 20% reduced gravity or 20% increased movement speed. But beyond those bonuses, they're all identical stat-wise. Also, every moon has randomized colors, which is pretty cool, although I wouldn't call that color-able, they're just colored. They're colored moons. There's also an event going on, or something, but I never do these, so I don't care. There's also the Flying Saucer Pet on wave 25 of Moonbase. Is it okay? Well, it's some amount worse than a plain pet, so it's okay single target DPS. But other than that, nothing spectacular. Although it is really big whenever it's on the ground, which I'm pretty sure is intended, and that's pretty cool. That's it for the new content. Let's move on to the UI and general quality of life. First up, Tower Range Indicator. It's enabled by default, though I'm confident this is going to change. You can now see the range of a tower even after it's placed. This works on every tower, though at the moment it doesn't seem to be fully accurate, and it has some issues with certain towers that have a circular range instead of a cone. But I'm sure that'll get fixed in time, because I know Pancake is the GOAT. Just keep in mind, the range that you see on traps is their area of effect, not their activation range. They only activate when an enemy goes directly over them. There's also niche cases like the Slice and Dice, but nobody uses these towers anyway, so who cares? Overall, it's a great feature. It helps out a ton with nature pylons, traps, and certain maps like Wintermire where you have crazy long sight lines and range might matter a lot. Next one is a bit of a minor one, but the recommended level that was worthless and caused more problems than it solved is gone. Instead, we get the new nothing. We have nothing. We're supposed to have like a 1 out of 10 difficulty rating on maps, but we don't. But we will. Something just went wrong with the update, but it'll be there eventually. Beyond that, there's also been some enemy AI pathing fixes. I gotta mention this first since it's probably really hard to do and people will appreciate it silently, but I'd like that appreciation to be a little bit louder. Now let's see. You can invite people to join you from Discord now. Nice one, B. The text under rank mode mentions that it has anti-cheat, which also means that local and open do not. You can rename your shop in-game now, I guess. That's pretty neat. I don't know, I never really opened one. And for the last of the general changes, you can skip cutscenes better now. I'm pretty sure that's what this means. I don't know what the fuck to show for this one. Before we get to the bug fixes, there's been a ton of accessory visual changes. They should fit better now, just kind of look better in general on a character. So if you play with accessories visible, then you like this one a lot. Not me though, I never have that enabled. Now on to the bug fixes. Tavern Incursion Crystal enemies, dudes from like this little portal here, they now move way faster and take less damage. This was apparently a bug and now it's fixed. Speaking of maps I don't like, Ruthless Ember Mount now has these tiny little baby ogres instead of the Dilf ogres we're used to. The minigun was fixed and also kinda nerfed. Wyverns on Frostdale Court should be a little less stupid now. Ruthless Polybius Mischief, that's a bit of a tongue twister, should only spawn his Harbinger at around 50% HP instead of whatever else he was doing before. And quality outlines were fixed. Also, the DST pet will no longer crash your game if you keep it out for too long. I know this was a terrible problem for everybody, but I actually reported that one myself, not to brag. Sorry. There's also a bunch of other bug changes, but I'm too lazy to write a script for all of them, so I'll just put it on the screen. Anyways, Q4C 18 is on the way, and to the dev team, please credit yourselves a bit more so that I can credit you a bit more. And also, give me some more like behind the scenes pictures and screenshots and stuff so I can have B-roll footage because I don't like gathering footage and I'm lazy. Also, this stuff kind of looks cool. Just to prevent some confusion, I've been on local this entire time, meaning I have workshop maps and workshop gear. So if you're wondering how I can survive or one-shot stuff, it's cause workshop. That's pretty much it. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. I died?